What does it look like to keep serving after the uniform comes off? Welcome to Project Vanguard, where veterans and mission driven leaders share what it takes to build America's energy dominance. I'm your host, Kevin Doffing. Today I'm talking with Nick Martocci, a former Marine and National Guard aviator who now leads Technical Training Academy, where he helps train people for careers in the wind and battery storage industries. And what makes this conversation great is that Nick's lived both sides of it. He's leading by example. He's done the work in the field, and now he was helping other people find their way into it. We get into why energy work can feel familiar to veterans. Small teams, high safety standards, trust, problem solving under pressure. Nick talks about it all and what drew him into the industry that made him stay, and why he's put so much effort into building programs that actually prepare people for the long haul instead of just checking a box. There is also a bigger point underneath all of this. If America wants strong energy and infrastructure and energy security, then we need more disciplined people stepping into these roles and building the workforce behind the mission. Veterans already know how to carry responsibility, work in teams, and adapt fast. Nick helps put that into plain terms. By the end of this one, you'll see that for a lot of veterans, energy is not some random second career. It is another way to keep building, keep serving, and keep doing work that matters. Let's get into it. Nick, thanks for making the time today, brother. How are you doing? Nice, nice. I love it, brother. Yeah. Houston was spared where I'm at, but I did have to go to Waco yesterday and then saw snow everywhere, still waiting to just turn into slush. Mm. Where was the first north you were ever stationed? Yeah, Fort Lewis. Yeah. Now, I mean, like they always talk about it here in Texas, like, windmills froze during Winter Storm Uri. What's it like being that far north and working in wind? Mm-hmm. How long were you in North Dakota? Oh, wow. So were you doing traveling tech work? Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, dude, that's a hairy situation. That's a gnarly op to go on. Just for everybody who's listening, can you describe like what is it to be a traveling wind technician? Yeah. No, that's interesting. So, I mean, take us forward to today. What are you doing today, and how's that experience out in the field kind of played into it? Yeah. I remember somebody probably like 5 or 6 years ago saying, like today's batteries are like a flip phone. It's only going to get way better from here. And I mean, like, we didn't have any issues really in Texas with outages and stuff because batteries are 77 times more prolific now than they were during Winter Storm Uri when my family was like hunkered down and freezing with no power because the gas wells were frozen. Hmm. Oh, I've seen them attached to natural gas peaker plants. I mean, like they go anywhere. Bill Gates was like, hydrogen's the Swiss Army knife of the energy transition. Energy transition. It's like, no, man, batteries. That's awesome, man. No, I was talking about lowering the ladder down after you've climbed up, right? Like just making it easier. There's no reason that everybody has to keep reinventing the wheel. We just need to get there faster, and we can do that together. And what's BTT? Yeah, no, man, I get it. And I mean, when you're talking about like getting trained and just kind of traveling the world, getting to do these really cool industrial infrastructure projects, it just reminds me so much of the guys I've met over my lifetime working offshore in oil and gas. They might switch and go to something in the Permian or something like that. I mean, it's just energy and infrastructure. Yeah. No, I love that, man. So, talk about as you've formed Tower Training Academy or Technical Training Academy now, kind of what's next for y'all. Yeah, man. No, I love that. So, talk a little bit about that. I mean, how do you see your participation in our inaugural Community Leader Fellowship kind of playing into that? Nice, man. I love that. So, take us back. Young Nick, little whippersnapper, thinking about what he's going to do with his life, somehow makes the mistake of going into the Marines. A, how badly do you regret going into the Marines? A, go into the Air Force. What were you flying? It's a pretty good translation of skill sets. Well, I mean, I think, I was having this conversation yesterday. They're like, why are vets so prominent inside of energy? I'm like, I mean, they're just very culturally the same, right? Like, it's about execution, it's about logistics, it's about safety, it's about excellence in the field and how you get things done, project management. Like, it's kind of bureaucratic, it's kind of conservative by nature. Like, it just translates really well. And I don't mean politically, but I mean, just like, you're not the avant-garde. There's really cool technology involved. There's cool R&D, but I mean, at the core, it's about executing things with reliability and consistency. So I mean, like, I'm not trying to like figure out a new way to do patrols when I go out every day. I'm trying to like get my patrols done to secure my AO. And so it just translates really well, I think. So it's not as much of a culture shock entering the civilian market coming into energy than it is B2B SaaS or retail. Yeah. So as you were, getting, what was the real decision point? Because you ended up not just finishing out in the Marines, you went into the National Guard. Nice. You keep up with any of the guys from your unit? Nice. So, what was it like flying in Afghanistan? I mean, I just imagine lots of mountains, lots of hills, lots of things to not run into. Well, so what do you bring from that experience into your job now, training folks for the field? I'm well aware of Leroy Jenkins. I love that. We used to use Leroy Jenkins as our call to fire on some training maneuvers. You guys are having some good times over there. Yeah. Yeah. So, as we kind of come into the rest of 2026 right now, I know one of the big things you and I have talked about is the RE Plus event in Vegas. We had it there last year. We didn't have it, we attended it. But being able to partner with them again and appreciate them putting it on. What do you have planned for this year's event? How many people have you brought through that battery program so far? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, one guy I worked with, we used to joke when you're messing with the battery stuff, it's the electricity that'll kill you twice, right? It's not to be messed around with. Well, that's good, man. So, for veterans that are looking to get into this, what advice do you have for them? Hmm. So, how do you run your apprenticeship? I mean, I think of like a training school as like, hey, I'm going to be here for 2 weeks, 2 months, whatever. I get my cert, I'm out the door. But that's not how you're running an apprenticeship. Oh, I thought Leroy became Ricky Bobby. I was like, man, he graduated. He's no longer a danger to himself. That is a very real thing. So, I mean, like, what's the benefit to companies when they're running these apprenticeships? I know we looked at setting one up when I was running some O&M stuff, but ended up not doing it. Got it. Okay. And so, I mean, what would be your advice for vets that are looking to get in, and how can Project Vanguard help them along the way? What's CSN? So that's the only community college in Las Vegas, right? Got it. Dude, this is great. This is really good advice, I think, for a lot of folks that want to get into the field, that want to come out of the military. What do you think is the ideal profile for vets that are looking to either go to technical training academy or just maybe go directly to an employer from the military? What do you think that profile looks like? Yeah, you grew up and like you fix your own car, right? I know how a socket wrench works. I don't know, man. Kind of want to hear it now. What's a working party? Yeah, busy work. Mhm. Yeah. I got a buddy. Do you talk to the techs like, "Hey, man, once you get this role and you're out there, like, you gotta make sure you talk to the other vendors that are on site, the site management team." Like, what advice do you give to technicians that are leaving your school before they go to their company and they start working in the field? Well, I always think, I'll be describing like somebody was just all ate up, just horrible in the field. Somebody will be like, "Oh man, did they like get themselves hurt in combat?" I'm like, "No, those people never get hurt. They get other people hurt." So when you say head on a swivel, it's like, yeah, that's right, man. If you're working on like a 2 or 3 man team going up tower and somebody's not clipping off and their drop tool is not going to hit them, it's going to get you. You've got to take care of yourself and be aware of the preparedness of everyone around you. Right. Right. To be safe. Hmm. You don't have to worry about taxes till you start making money. It's a good problem to have, but it's a problem you got to solve. Yeah, that makes complete sense, man. Well, Nick, man, thank you so much for your time today. I can't wait for folks to hear your story, learn about TTA, find you at RE Plus this year and every year, and just kind of get after it. Any final thoughts? Awesome, brother. Really appreciate it.